Hello and welcome to another video. So it's been a while, but I wanted to do a quick update on my IKEA Mills cabinet, which you can see right there, in which I have my greenhouse. So it's been 2 months exactly today. I think I got this on 30th of May, and by the time I put my plants in it and I did the whole setup, today exactly would be 2 months from that time. So I want to show a bit of the status update on the plants, how the greenhouse has been performing for that, and I want to talk about some accessories and add some new accessories and maybe even rearrange a few things like the shelving and the height of the shelves and things like those, and generally pros and cons and the state of the plants right now. So I hope you watch this video, and if you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. I make houseplant videos documenting the journey of what they're going through with me as I learn about them and I take my hobby forward. So if you like this hobby, please do continue watching. Okay, so here's the entire look of the cabinet. This is the IKEA Mills tall cabinet in which I've created the greenhouse, and this is the side view. That's how I see it when I enter my home. That's the side I see first from the door, which is at the other end, the opposite end. And as you can see, I haven't really drilled any holes. I have just taken the wires out from the corners there and here as well for my second grow light. So I have two grow lights, one on top, one there, and nothing at the bottom, which I will talk about today. And apart from that, I have installed some weather stripping, which I will show here, which is the same color, white, so you can't really see it, which is a great thing. But I have weather stripping, and I have tried to even have it in places where the wires are going. And humidity levels right now are 88. They were 91 a while back, so humidity is good. I will talk about these accessories also, but let me get in front of the camera for that. Okay, so before I get into the plant updates, I just wanted to talk about the few accessories. So I showed you the hygrometer, which is a very basic one, the humidity meter, and this is just from Amazon, and it works perfectly fine. It's a good way to know the status of the temperatures and the humidity levels inside, which is very important. So if you're having a greenhouse, make sure you have a hygrometer. Grow lights I've already spoken of, the weather stripping I've spoken of. The other very important thing is the fans, the cooling fans. So I started with these. These are kind of USB and handheld battery operated fans, but I just got them because they were cheap and easily available on Amazon, but they don't last for too long. And it's very important to have a fan inside because of such high humidity levels, and with weather stripping there, it becomes very moist, if I can say that, which is also fine, but you need air circulation or you will end up having pests. So that is an issue. So now I have ordered this fan, which I think is a more well-suited fan, and I've seen a lot of people use these in so many videos. And this one is by Plant Essentials actually. So this one is from their website. There's a little note here, thank you note, and the fan. I got this a couple of days back, but I've not really unboxed it. I haven't really opened it because I wanted to make a video. So this is another important accessory we must have. Apart from that, I ended up getting this IKEA pegboard, which has these attachments. I've seen a lot of people actually have these installed, and you can increase the capacity of the number of houseplants that you can have in the cabinet, but I made a mistake. So this one's a wider one, and I thought I could rotate it and put it in the cabinet, but when I rotate it, the holes don't work. So that's a learning. So if anyone wants to buy this, I'm selling it. but I can use some of the accessories nevertheless by using sticky tape and kind of have more area for smaller plants. So that is something I'll explore in the future. So today's objective, of course, will be installing that fan I just showed, and I'm thinking of shifting the shelves a bit because right now I have 3 sections. So that's the topmost section, then I have the middle one, and then the bottom one. The bottom one is slightly less in height, which is fine. I kept it that way. In fact, I increased the height in the middle and the top ones. Also want to talk about this little space you see here, and that is because I have removed the wires on the side, which is fine for me, and I haven't put the weather stripping here because I want that much space for some air circulation to happen. But that you really don't mind that actually, so that's fine. Now today what I'm thinking is, I think I want to get rid of the bottom area and just have two shelves, because this space is quite empty and I've started storing random things like old empty cups and plants which aren't doing well, and as in like they're literally on their way out and I don't need to keep them inside actually. So I am thinking that I will get rid of this shelving and just have two shelves, but we will see. Let me see what I feel like doing. So before I get into the whole rearrangement of the shelves and installing the fan, I think I'm going to quickly take you through the plant updates because they were quite interesting. So let me start with the most interesting ones, which I love the most. So here's my Anthurium palletiflorum, and I just want to show you something really interesting, which is the roots. So in fact, let me do this with the back camera, it'll be much better. So we can take this as the 2-month update progress story, because all of these roots are very, very new, they're very, very fresh, and yeah, I think you can see better now. So the plant of course took time to adjust. Like this was one of the new leaves and then something happened and it never grew after coming into the cabinet. It didn't, but so all of these roots, they actually started coming upwards and then I had to push them down, and now they're going downwards and really healthy. This one now is the second new leaf which has come after I kept the plant in the cabinet, though as you can see this already has spider mites damage. When it was this small, I found that it has spider mites, which I tried cleaning, but I think it's left the marks, the spots, and I can't do much, but it's still growing. The length of the leaf is still developing, it is still hardening up, so a long way to go, and I'm sure that the plant will do much better soon. So I'll keep it here. Coming to this one, so this is my Anthurium pap versus nay cross pap with raven heart. This is one of the newest leaves that I got after keeping it in the cabinet. Love it, and there's a new leaf on the way, and look at the roots, there's great new roots coming in. So overall what I have noticed is that the plants are doing well right now in terms of establishing their roots, which is a great thing. This next one is also a good update in terms of the roots. This is my Anthurium crystallinum, and a couple of things about this plant which I will talk about. So firstly, I love this. I love the plant so much. I want to show you the roots. Okay. So look at these beautiful roots. So the thin ones are from before, but all the thick roots are all after I have kept it in the cabinet. So it's got a great rooting system. It's in one of those long 9-inch pots, and look at the roots here as well. These are all new fuzzy roots. There was a new growth here, unfortunately it got stuck, and now there's a new one right behind it. So yeah, overall doing really well. It's too heavy, but let me come here. The only thing is this one's getting too close to the grow light, so there is damage in terms of the heat. There is some heat damage, crisping of the edges, but that's the other reason why I want to maybe lower the shelves a bit. Apart from that, I think in all the plants there are Firstly, great updates in terms of the roots. This one's been getting a lot of new leaves. This is my philodendron UPI. This is the latest leaf. It is still on its way to harden up, but this, I believe, was the one before that. So it's been doing great. I won't really get into too many details about all the plants, but just want to empty the shelf and show you a few of these. This is my philodendron mame, which is pushing out the smallest ever leaf possible. So of course I had to chop this off completely, and it's in sphagnum moss, and it's been there since a while, not doing anything. But very recently it has pushed out this tiny little leaf, and there's another growth point hidden behind there. So I know that a lot of time has been spent now by the plants to kind of establish into this new system, the temperature conditions. There's growth on my cactus too. You see the little nub here, that's gonna be another, that's a new one. It wasn't there when I bought this. In fact, you can see it in my cactus video. So I know that there are good roots in my cactus as well, though a lot of people feel that cactuses should not be in a greenhouse, but I keep it there nevertheless. Another interesting and a very, very happy update is with my monstera esqueleto, which has finally pushed out a new growth here. So I got it when I got the plant. It was supposed to be here inside. I thought there's a new growth inside, but it never came out. I think it dried up, and finally now this came like overnight. And I want to show these amazing roots on this plant. So look at all of this, look at this. It's so satisfying to watch. These are amazing healthy roots, very thick, white. There is some root rot of older roots I see, but it's doing well anyway. So I had repotted this. Of course it's suffering with spider mites damage, and you can see a lot of damage here. I am thinking I should chop off this leaf and let it just concentrate on the new growth, but we'll see about that. And the other thing I want to show in terms of the pros of having a greenhouse cabinet, which is for alocasias. Look at this new leaf. This is the latest leaf on my alocasia silver dragon, and here is a new leaf it's pushing out. So I know it's going to be big and huge. There's another one here. So a ton of, oh, and the roots, let me figure out how to show the roots, but it's got roots coming out all over inside it. I can't really show it. And this plant is, by the way, suffering from spider mites. Oh, okay, I can show you this. Oopsie, it's a bit tricky to show it, but look at the roots. And these roots are coming out now on the top. So yeah, alocasias are doing good, really good, apart from the fact that they have spider mites. This is my second alocasia silver dragon, which has more stronger the infestation of spider mites, but it is also pushing out a new leaf, and it also has really amazing roots. And that is all because of the greenhouse. It had this deformed leaf because it got affected by spider mites when it was pushing out this leaf, so couldn't really help it. That's okay. And yes, last two updates on alocasias. These are my corms, doing really beautifully well. There were more in here, but I forgot to water them. They were very dry. Even inside for the cabinet it got very dry and they died. But some of them have come up. I think I have 4 now, and I have this single baby left of alocasia frydek, mycolitziana, and can you believe it, it has 4 leaves. I mean, alocasias barely ever have 4 leaves at one go, but this one has. This also suffers from spider mites. but that's how it is with them. As long as it keeps growing, I'll make do with it. And what else can I show? I think that's it for now. Maybe in terms of the plant updates, because I'm not doing a full updates story. This is also another root growth for my philodendron Florida mint, which does not give me minty leaves at all. In fact, the leaf sizes keep going smaller and smaller and smaller. This is the last leaf, very new, very new. It comes out very nicely. It comes out really fast and high speed and everything, but then when the leaves open up, they tend to be very tiny. And all of these are new leaves, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 since the time I've got the plant, but it has shown me no variegation and the leaf sizes are only dropping. So I'm thinking of starting over with this plant soon, but that's not for today. But this is the expectation, like this is the kind of expectation, this is what I paid for, right? So this is what I want, but that's not yet happening, but let's see, maybe sometime soon. So now I'm gonna stop with the updates of the plants. Clearly the plants are doing good. The only cons is that I have spider mites here which are spread all across, so they are in every shelf, on every plant, roughly said, but we can't really avoid them. We can only prepare for it and do some precautionary treatments and things like those. But anyway, right now I'm just going to try and shift the shelves and be back. Okay, so that's how it's looking. It's all empty right now, and because it's empty, and this would be a good time for me to go and clean it up, because yes, it's a bit messy and it has spider mites. So I think I'm gonna clean this up right now first. Okay, so that bit's done. I have now 2 equal shelves. Okay, so time to install the fan. I do have some adapters, USB adapters, which I will need because this doesn't come with that. But I'm hoping the length of the USB should be good enough. I think it's fine. So I need to decide. I mean, I did ever have loved it on top, somewhere like this, but this length won't suffice. So I may have to put it here or something. We'll see. So the very first thing I'll have to do in order to get the wire of my fan installed is to remove this glass. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Which I don't like to do honestly, but we will do it. We have to. Okay, so the cord is out. I have my fan's cord out. The fan is in here. I want to see if it can be in the top shelf, so that's what I've arranged for. If in the future I feel no, then I can just take it down and maybe put a double tape or something and take it like the bottom of the glass shelf there. So I'm fine with that. So I've connected it. Let's see if it's working. Oh yeah, that's a higher speed. That's a noise. if you want to hear, not much, of 1, 2, and 3. I think 1 is perfectly fine. Okay, so now the next task is to put all the plants back in. We get into high speed mode. Okay, so here is the final setup. I have my 2 sections. Of course, now I have a lot of space for putting a moss pole, which I want to do for my maid room, and even maybe at some point for my stiletto. And this is a top shelf. I have 2 plants right now on top. Honestly, I wanted to avoid putting anything on top of the cabinet, but I have no space for those 2 right now. The fan is here. It's working fine. It's creating a good air circulation. Yeah, there it is. The fan is working fine. It's creating a good air circulation. I have kept a few plants a bit above so they don't get the direct draft. I will observe all of this, of course, over the due course of time and see if I need to make any changes. The Toby is here. So overall, it's looking good. I'm so glad I finally got this done. I was avoiding this task for a very long time because this was a long piece of work. I think it took me about 1.5 hours, and of course editing this will be another couple of hours, but I hope to do it soon and put this up as soon as I can. But I'm happy I did this because it takes time for plants to respond to new conditions, and now that my plants were used to it, I thought this is a good time, like 2-month window is a good time for them to adjust, because now again they're going to go through one more adjustment cycle, a bit of it. But yeah, really happy. So happy about having the cabinet giving me a controlled environment for the plants, and I'm hoping to see good growth. It also gives me confidence to get some expensive, more rarer plants, because right now I'm always afraid they'll not survive in the kind of environment I have outside of the cabinet at my home. But yeah, looking forward to that. And if you watched this video till the end, thank you so much. It means a lot. Please do like the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. It will help me make more videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.